Tonight on CTV News at 6. What did it reveal?
We pointedly went after the expense reports and the receipts.
North Bay's Integrity Commissioner releases a report on the mayor's use of a corporate credit card. A heavy police presence.
We will continue to search until the person is located in good health or the individual's body is recovered.
Crews are searching for a man in Greater Sudbury. And major blaze.
From the reports that we have, individuals were sleeping at the time, and one of the occupants did attempt to wake everybody and get them out of the home. 3
people were sent to hospital following a fire in Sudbury.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Glad you are with us on this Tuesday. The highly anticipated report from the Integrity Commissioner looking into North Bay Mayor Peter Chirico's expenses was released today. CTV's Eric Tashner digs into the document.
Kevin Ferris, one of 2 whistleblowers who filed Freedom of Information Act requests into Mayor Peter Chirico's spending habits, has been waiting to read this report from Integrity Commissioner Guy Giorno looking into Chirico's expenses.
We pointedly went after the expense reports and the receipts, and so we uncovered a lot of these expenses that were inappropriately put through.
In his 38-page report to the city, Giorno finds Chirico broke the code of conduct in relation to $5,500 of expenses of the $17,000 he's reimbursed. It all started when a financial review found Chirico racked up thousands of dollars in personal expenses in 2023 and 2024 and used a city-issued credit card to pay for them. These expenses were signed off by CAO John Severino.
He has a lot to answer for in this scandal as well.
Chirico turned the card in back in July. Giorno found there was no evidence of lobbying and no evidence that city expenses were used to provide hospitality to lobbyists. Chirico writing in a statement, "When I used the city credit card for personal expenses, it was always understood that they would be reimbursed. On a few occasions, there were good faith misunderstandings regarding allowable expenses, and I accept responsibility for them. All of those expenses have been fully repaid. Council can now choose its next course of action," Giorno wrote. "It may impose one of 2 penalties, but not both. Reprimand him or suspend his pay of up to 90 days. Ferris, though, isn't holding out any hope that significant action will be taken.
We've got certain councillors already stated their position without seeing the evidence that we uncovered.
Giorno is recommending council ask staff to bring forward a draft lobbyist registry bylaw. Meanwhile, the OPP and Inspector General of Policing are conducting their own investigations into Chirico's spending. The city has spent nearly a third of their annual budget for Integrity Commissioner investigations with this report, a cost totaling $23,000. Council will hear from Giorno at a special meeting tomorrow night. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
There continues to be a heavy police presence along the Wanapitei River just outside of Sudbury. Officers are searching for a 68-year-old man who fell out of a boat. CTV's Lindsay Alick has more.
On Monday afternoon, around 4:25 p.m., first responders were dispatched to Wanapitei River in the area of Highway 537 and Astaire Road.
The initial response was Greater Sudbury Fire Services Water Rescue. However, we do have a search and rescue unit as well as the ability to conduct a ground and aerial search. So officers responded from our K9 unit as well as our search and rescue team and patrol operations. They did an aerial search with our RPAS and then an extensive ground search in the area in order to look for the individual who had gone overboard.
Information provided was that 2 individuals were in a small aluminum boat near the rapids when the boat tipped.
They had gone into the water to dislodge a boat that was lodged in the rapids when one of the individuals fell overboard. The second individual did not go into the water and is safe. However, the 68-year-old man who did go into the water has not yet been recovered.
The public is being asked to stay out of the area to allow officers to conduct the coordinated search.
We are using the OPP helicopter as well as our RPAS. Officers are on foot. They are also using Argos and off-road vehicles. and then the OPP is searching underwater for the individual. So if you have any information or have a sighting, we ask that you contact police immediately.
Police will continue to search for the missing man until he is located in good health, where the individual's body is recovered. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
3 people were hurt and a family displaced after a house fire this morning in Sudbury. We get more from CTV's Angela Gemmell.
Fire crews wrap up their work at the scene of a residential house fire on Hebert Street. 3 people escaped with injuries, including one who needed to be rescued.
The individual that was rescued by firefighters and transferred to paramedics in hospital does have serious life-threatening injuries.
Firefighters from 4 stations responded to the call around 8 this morning. Black smoke could be seen over the house.
From the reports that we have, individuals were sleeping at the time, and one of the occupants did attempt to wake everybody and get them out of the home. And firefighters, as I said, arrived and certainly helped individuals that were exiting get out, and then went in immediately to search for, locate, and then remove the last occupant.
O'Shell says 2 pets were also rescued and are temporarily in the care of neighbors.
There were reports of several 911 calls that individuals may have been attempting to try and get back into the residence, and under no circumstance is that a good idea. That's very, very dangerous. Again, when that smoke or fire is detected, your smoke alarms are going off, get out, contact emergency services, let us get here and take action.
O'Shell calls the smoke and fire damage to the home significant, estimating it between $250,000 and $350,000. The fire is not suspicious, but the Ontario Fire Marshal's office is looking into the cause. As we head into the winter season, O'Shell reminds residents to check their smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors. He says Greater Sudbury Fire Services usually sees a change in the type of calls they get. That is, colder months tend to see fires connected to heating sources like space heaters, furnaces, and fireplaces. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
Shifting gears now, for those who had a chance to get outside today, you were greeted by sunshine. Can we expect more of these conditions? For that answer, here's CTV's Rick Wyman.
Time's running out, Tony. Sunshine can't stick around forever. We've got some precipitation in the forecast. Our systems map right now with approaching cloud and some precipitation just in time for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even into Monday with showers and the chance of showers. We'll take a look at some of those numbers a little bit later on in the 7-day forecast. Also, the sunrise, sunset. Don't forget the time change coming up early Sunday morning, so you get that extra hour of sleep. And again, we'll also check out some of the favorable current conditions. Tony?
Thanks so much for that, Rick. Algonquin Road Public School in Sudbury hosted a spectacular carved pumpkin display today. It included 200 jack-o'-lanterns carved by grades 4 to 8 students. The creations were on display in the gymnasium, lowering the overhead lights and illuminating the pumpkins while Halloween music played in the background. This spooky school tradition has been happening for more than 20 years. It's made landfall. Still to come on CTV News at 6. Hurricane Melissa hits Jamaica and is a Category 5 storm. But first, let's head to downtown Timmins. This live webcam is courtesy of the city. It's 12 degrees. We are back after this commercial break.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
A coroner's inquest has wrapped up into the death of an inmate at the Sudbury jail. Today, the jury provided recommendations to prevent something like this from happening again. CTV's Amanda Hicks reports.
In the early morning hours of February 13th, 2021, Justin Alexander Trudeau was found unresponsive in his cell here at the Sudbury jail. This morning, presiding officer Dr. Ronald Goldstein read out 13 recommendations submitted by 5 jurors. The recommendations focus on various improvements to be implemented at the jail and by the Ministry of the Solicitor General. The 8-day inquest was examining whether the jail's care protocols and systemic issues played a role, including Trudeau's Indigenous background. The 44-year-old member of Wik-Wemkong unceded territory died just 4 days into his 30-day sentence, with the cause of death listed as a bacterial infection that spread from his lungs to his bloodstream. The proposed changes include healthcare and staffing, expanding overnight staff and adding a pharmacist to handle medications, as well as enhanced monitoring for inmates with infections, communication and training. The jury called for better communication among correctional officers regarding the status of prisoners. They also recommended new training for staff, including enhanced written documentation and Indigenous-focused education and vulnerable population training. Goldstein acknowledged how difficult this inquest must have been for Trudeau's family and thanked them for their involvement. He concluded it was beneficial in uncovering issues and finding ways to ensure that something like this never happens again. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
And to read more on the jury's full list of recommendations, don't forget, head to our website, CTVNewsNorthernOntario.ca. In the next few weeks, the City of Greater Sudbury is moving mobile units from a downtown location to a parking lot across from Energy Court. The units are used by a group to distribute essentials to the homeless and vulnerable. CTV's Alana Everson reports.
Work has started to dismantle the former market location area across from the Sudbury Arena.
With the upcoming construction of the event center and the need for additional parking, we've decided to relocate those mobile retail units up to Energy Court, and they'll continue to be used by SOS Sudbury for their operations.
Denise Sandel is the co-founder of SOS Sudbury and says the move poses some challenges, like no power at the new site, but she is grateful to the city for providing the space to distribute essentials to the homeless and the vulnerable.
We have very generous people in our community that are talking about getting us some generators. So that will help with that. And we also just opened a barber shop 3 weeks ago, and he needs a little bit of power.
The mobile units will be placed on the outer edge of the parking lot, across from the encampment at Energy Court.
We had a consultation with the community partners that operate there, as well as with GSPS, so that we could do a CPTED, which is crime prevention through environmental design, which helps us to decide, make sure that they're going to be placed in an area that's not going to encourage any criminal activity.
Sandel says the Energy Court location will be difficult for some seniors they support.
Some people are afraid of Energy Court. Some people won't have the means if they're in a wheelchair.
SOS will continue to operate from the current location until the mobile units are moved in the next few weeks.
I can say last Sunday, I saw faces I'd never seen before. And that's tragic because things just don't seem to be getting better.
The city says there are currently 256 people living in encampments across 60 known locations. SOS Sudbury confirms it distributes over 2,000 items every week. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
Talk of new election legislation ruffled some feathers at Queen's Park today. From changing the set election date to campaign donation limits, Premier Doug Ford is looking to make big changes. CTV's Siobhan Morris has that story.
It's a Democratic dance that begins with a visit to the Lieutenant Governor, a necessary step to trigger an election. Now the government's moving to eliminate set election dates, the law in Ontario for more than 20 years.
As far as I was concerned, this is a fake law put in by the Liberal government.
The next election scheduled for June of 2029, but the change would allow progressive Conservatives to stay in power until at least 2030. The Premier of the day can already send voters to the polls when it makes sense for their party, something Doug Ford did earlier this year.
Call an election when the time is appropriate, up to 5 years, but could be 4, could be 3.
Most of the opposition fire is aimed at a planned bump to the maximum political donation, from $3,400 to $5,000.
He is widening the trough so more of his friends can sidle on up to that trough.
The Attorney General insists there's nothing controversial here.
Manitoba, Alberta, Nova Scotia all have similar limits, Madam Speaker.
Playing catch-up with municipal rules.
We were well behind the City of Toronto. You can donate $5,000.
But that amount is spread across many candidates. The ceiling for donations for mayor is $2,500.
They're doing this in the middle of a fundraising scandal. What does that tell you about them?
Opposition parties keep leaning on the Premier to fire the Minister of Labour over what looks like preferential treatment in awarding Skills Development Fund grants.
They're just opening the floodgates to more Greenbelt scandals and slush development fund scandals.
The government's also moving to make permanent a per-vote subsidy. The Attorney General says it's about maintaining a balance between private and public money in elections. The Canadian Taxpayers Federation has called it political welfare. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Back now for a check on your current conditions. Once again, here's Rick.
Sunrise, sunsets for tomorrow, Tony. We're losing just over 3 minutes a day. Here we are, late stages of October. For tomorrow, Greater Sudbury sunrise at 8:07, 8:15 in the Sioux, 8:07 in Timmins, 7:58 Temiskaming Shores and North Bay, 7:55. The sun will set tomorrow officially in Sudbury, 6:15, 6:26 in the Sioux, 6:10 Timmins, Temiskaming Shores, 6:05 and 6:07 in North Bay. Now your current temperatures, let's have a look. Clear skies right across the northeast. Moosonee at 12, Cochrane 10, Timmins 12, and Kapuskasing 12 as well. 12 in Chapleau, 13 in Wawa, Sault Ste. Marie in 11. In Parry Sound this hour, 14 degrees, clear skies. It's been a great day there. North Bay at 11, Temiskaming Shores 12, and Kirkland Lake 12 degrees. So no complaints about this evening. 12 degrees, Greater Sudbury Nickel Belt. Espanola 12 degrees, Elliott Lake 10, and Manitoulin Island. Always a beautiful night when the sun is shining, and of course we've got clear conditions at 12 degrees. So Tony will take a look at that 7-day forecast. A lot of people not happy with the outlook for Friday, so we'll have to keep a close eye on as to what you can expect. After all, it's about the trick-or-treaters. What have you got going on Friday?
Yes, how true. Thanks, Rick. It's one of the most powerful hurricanes ever. Next on CTV News at 6. We take you to Jamaica, where the storm has made a landfall. And with Carney and Trump both in Asia, are there any plans for the two to meet? The Prime Minister is now in Singapore, where he is meeting with the country's political and business leaders. Later this week, he'll have a face-to-face with China's president. The goal is to drum up investment for Canada with new partners. CTV's Judy Trin reports.
We have 40% of global trade coming through here.
As he surveys Singapore's massive state-of-the-art port with its CEO, the Prime Minister is reaching into his Rolodex to find new partners to invest in Canada's major projects.
Our Prime Minister is very well connected globally to not just political leaders, but to corporate leaders, leaders of significant investment firms, sovereign wealth funds.
Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump is being courted. Sana Takaichi, Japan's first female leader, gave Trump a golf club owned by her predecessor, the late Shinzo Abe, and promised to nominate him for the Nobel Peace Prize. Then they signed an agreement to cooperate on critical minerals.
But tonight I'm more confident than ever that the friendship between the United States and Japan is strong as it can be.
After missing each other in Malaysia, Carney and Trump will both be in South Korea for the Asia-Pacific Economic Summit. At APEC, both have bilateral meetings set up with China's Xi Jinping. When asked if Canada would break with the U.S. and drop tariffs on Chinese EVs, Carney said it's too soon to decide.
There's no preset offer issue. This is the difference between relationship and transaction.
The Prime Minister will spend less than 24 hours in Singapore before traveling to South Korea for another economic summit. Tensions are expected. Since Trump broke off trade negotiations, he said that he will not meet with Carney at APEC. Judy Trin, CTV News, Singapore.
In the U.S., millions are starting to feel the full impact of the government shutdown for the first time as the impasse drags on for another week. Many federal workers are missing their first full paycheck today. Delays at U.S. airports are mounting as air traffic controllers are working without pay. And this week, federal food assistance programs that nearly 42 million Americans rely on are set to run out. The shutdown began October 1st. Canada Post is laying off dozens of managers to restructure the company. In a memo sent to employees early this morning, the company says it is part of corporate-wide restructuring efforts to align with the future needs of the organization. The number of employees to be laid off has not been given. This is happening as Canada Post is set to return to the bargaining table with the union representing thousands of postal workers who are on rotating strikes. Hurricane Melissa has made landfall in Jamaica, becoming one of the most powerful hurricane landfalls on record in the Atlantic Basin. This video was captured in Montego Bay. Melissa was making landfall in New Hope on the island's southeast coast earlier this afternoon and has since been downgraded from a Category 5 to a Category 4 hurricane. Maximum sustained winds at landfall were 295 kilometers per hour. The storm is starting to pick up speed slightly. Forecasters at the U.S. National Hurricane Center are calling this an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation. And these stunning images of Hurricane Melissa's clearly defined eye were captured by U.S. Air Force Hurricane Hunter airplane. The crew reported seeing a number of birds trapped. While conditions inside the eye of a hurricane are relatively calm, it's virtually impossible for birds to escape. Flocks will often fly with the storm over vast distances until they can finally fly out safely. And there's more news still ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Rick.
We'll check out the forecast radar and give you a hint as to what you can expect for Halloween Friday. Here we go with the systems map right now. Some cloud cover, precipitation in the offing in the next couple of days. As you can see, by about 6 on Thursday, just on the edge of what we can expect. So again, we'll keep a close eye on that. Overnight, not too bad. -1 Greater Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie +1, -6 in Timmins. Temiskaming Shores -2 and North Bay at -1. In Moosonee, a few clouds -1, Caphurst -5, Wawa -2, Gore Bay 3 and Perry Sound 0. Clear conditions there. 7-day forecast. Here we go. Sudbury Nickel Belt. Sun and cloud for a couple of days, 9 and 7. Here we go on Friday. Sorry about this. 60% chance of precipitation. 6 degrees your high for the trick-or-treaters. Saturday, chance of showers at 4. Sunday, we've got some sun and cloud and 4 degrees on Turnback Sunday. Monday, chance of showers also at 4. How about Sault Ste. Marie Algoma? Sunshine for a couple of days, 11 and 9. You've got some sun and cloud Thursday. Friday, cloud cover. Chance of precipitation for the trick-or-treaters at night, a high of 6. Saturday, chance of sleet at 5 degrees, your expected high. Turn back Sunday, here we go. Cloud cover and 6. 6 on Monday, chance of showers as well. In Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, we've got some sunshine for a couple of days. 10 and 8 should be okay. Friday, some cloud cover for the trick-or-treaters, a high of only 4, rather chilly. Saturday, chance of sleet, showers, flurries, only 3 degrees there. Sunday, as you turn back the clock, cloud cover and 3 degrees. Chance of showers on Monday as well, 3. Your normal this time of the year, sitting at around 5. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, sun and cloud for tomorrow at 9. Cloud cover Thursday at 7. For the trick-or-treaters on Friday, we've got the chance of precipitation anywhere from 40 to 60%. 5 degrees your expected high. Saturday, chance of showers at 4. Sunday, cloud cover, 4 degrees, turning back the clock day. Monday, chance of showers at 4 as well. So the temperature's dropping as well at night and during the day. As you can see, your normal sitting at around 5, 6, 7 degrees. We are approaching November, just a couple of days away. Let's have a look now and see what's happening for North Bay and West Nipissing. Sunshine for tomorrow. We've got 9 degrees, the expected high. Thursday, some cloud cover at 6. For the trick-or-treaters on Friday, chance of precipitation, high of only 5, dropping down to 0 overnight. Chance of showers Saturday. 4 degrees your high. Turn back the clock Sunday, 4 with the cloud cover. Monday, we've got some precipitation, 30% chance of showers, and a high of only 5. We can only hope it can get better. Let's have a look now at our pick of the day. Oh, Brenda's back. Brenda Cirilla. This is to Blake Walford. Great shot there. The stillness of the water, nice cloud condition, and overall great pick. Thank you so much for that, Brenda. Perhaps your pick could be on tomorrow. Hey, stick around. Rachel Lalonde of CAA has more on travel tips for those of you making plans over the course of this fall or winter for that holiday to come. It's time now for Ask an Expert. CAA's Rachel Lalonde is back tonight with more on travel preparation for the fall and winter. Rachel, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
There's a lot to think about when planning a trip, from booking tickets to getting insurance. What are the pre-travel items people seem to always forget about?
I think the biggest thing is check your ID. Make sure it's valid. Your passport. Many countries require the passport to be valid for at least 6 months after you return home. So make sure that it's valid. And your driver's license. If you're planning to drive when you're abroad, make sure your license is renewed. We don't get notices anymore, so you wouldn't believe how many people are driving with an expired license plate, driver's license. If you're going out of the country, register as a Canadian traveling abroad. That way you'll be kept in the loop in case there's something unexpected that happens, like a natural disaster or civil unrest. The government can certainly notify you. Don't forget and don't wait to get travel insurance. Trip cancellation and interruption insurance should be purchased as soon as you put that money down on your trip.
Good points to remember. I once forgot my passport trying to get into the States to see a Buffalo Bills game, so needless to say, I didn't get to see the game. Lost luggage is always a major concern for travelers. So what can travelers do to protect their belongings?
You know what? Pack smarter, pack smaller. You don't need to bring everything with you. If it's possible, use carry-on only. Look into purchasing a tracker as well for your bag. Those air tags, they're a saving grace for those who have luggage that's misplaced. You know it's in the airport, but you can let the carrier know where it is in the airport. Make sure that your travel insurance policy does cover baggage loss as well. Baggage insurance will cover the loss, the damage, or delay of your baggage and personal items due to theft or transportation hazards as well. It also protects your ID, your equipment, and the essential necessities.
Okay, Rachel, planning can be challenging, and for some it's overwhelming. Is it the same for getting travel insurance?
It has been challenging, but that's why we recommend that travelers rely on the travel experts. As for travel insurance, it really is easy to get, whether you want to buy online, if you want to call, or if you want to visit a travel consultant in person. With CAA travel insurance, it is super easy to get it online. Just a few simple steps, you can get your quote and you can issue your policy. And CAA members can save up to 20% on their policy. And you can save your quote for up to 30 days while you're thinking about it, so you don't really have to commit right away.
You make this sound so easy. CAA's Rachel Lalonde. For more information on tonight's segment and past episodes of Ask an Expert, please visit our website at CTV News Northern Ontario.
You can expect a bigger water bill if you have a swimming pool, a sprinkler system, or you just use a lot of water. But as CTV's Pat Forn explains, sometimes you can get a huge bill because of an undetected plumbing issue you're not aware of.
This Scarborough house has 5 washrooms, and earlier this year, the City of Toronto said it appeared there must be a water problem in the home. The owner was shocked to get a water bill for more than $8,000.
I was thinking that I will get heart attack because my husband doesn't have any job right now. My both parents has cancer at home, and suddenly I got this bill.
Shahana Pervin contacted the city to say there must be an issue with the water meter, as she wasn't using any more water than usual. She says she hired 2 plumbers to check for leaks and says they didn't find any.
So I called another plumber to check everything, and that plumber also said no, there is no leak, nothing.
When we reached out to the City of Toronto, a spokesperson said city staff determined the water meter continues to provide accurate readings. We hypothesized the homeowner was experiencing a leak. A Pickering resident says she was also stunned to get a water bill from Durham Region for more than $11,000.
I had to read it several times before I could. Am I missing a zero, or my eyes are imagining zeros?
Ines Hamid says she also had someone come to her home to check for leaks and says they couldn't find one.
I found out I did not have any water leak. Everything is intact. Everything is in place.
When CTV News reached out to Durham Region, a spokesperson said, "We do not comment on individual accounts. However, common causes include undetected plumbing issues, such as continuously running toilets. Homeowners are advised to listen for running water in underused bathrooms or to use food dye to check toilets for leaks." In Hamid's case, her bill was reduced from $11,000 to $7,000. She paid it, but still wants a refund.
I would like to have my money back because I'm a student, I'm a single mom, and it's wrong.
Pervin also has to pay her bill, but remains convinced she never had a leak in her home.
I cannot pay this bill. I cannot afford this bill.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Nearly 1 million people in Canada suffer from COPD, a chronic lung disease brought on by damage to the organ. As CTV's Pauline Chan tells us, a new drug has been approved that has those affected breathing a little easier.
In Canada, some 840,000 people have been diagnosed with COPD.
The Lung Health Foundation estimates that there are upwards of 2 million people, which would be the diagnosed and the undiagnosed, the smokers who are obfuscating their symptoms, or people who haven't had access to spirometry testing.
And up till now, patients could take one drug, then two, then triple therapies to help control their increasing breathlessness, episodes known as exacerbations.
Till now, there were no things to go to. After that triple therapy, you're kind of like at the end of the line.
And for some time now, our colleagues have used, for example, biologics to treat the inflammation of arthritis.
Dupixent is a newly approved biologic medication to treat patients with the most advanced forms of COPD. COPD causes 4.4% of all deaths in Canada, and it's not just the disease itself that kills.
Often it's the complications. It's the associated heart disease or stroke.
COPD Canada says having a new level of treatment is significant, and it urges provincial officials to arrange coverage quickly because the bulk of patients are of retirement age or older.
It's a financial imperative because they're retired, they're sick, they're getting sicker, and these things give them some hope.
Dr. Ken Chapman believes biologics will play a key role in treating COPD and reducing deaths in the future, but only if patients can get diagnosed.
Many patients are in and out of the emergency room with nobody in charge, and we've all heard about the lack of family doctors who might be tracking this, but they're overburdened. So I'm concerned that this very effective therapy reaches people who need it.
Pauline Chan, CTV News.
An expensive new drug that can slow the progression of Alzheimer's disease has also been approved by Health Canada. CTV's Rita Ishmael has more on what this means for those living with the disease.
It is being touted as a medication shown to be able to stall dementia for people in early stages of Alzheimer's, and it is now approved by Health Canada.
The medication is not a cure. What it does is it slows the underlying disease process by removing amyloid protein from the brain.
While existing medications treat symptoms, lecanemab is the first drug authorized in Canada that targets the disease's underlying cause in order to reduce the rate of cognitive and functional decline.
It is game-changing in the sense that it tells us that we can actually modify the underlying disease process. So this is one of the early pathologies that occurs, and we can remove the amyloid. We're thinking that if we can go even earlier when the amyloid first begins, before a person has ever any cognitive impairment, eventually we'll be able to slow the process so that there's less likelihood of them progressing to cognitive impairment. We're not at that point yet.
The drug has already been approved in 51 other countries and regions, including Japan, the U.S., China, and European Union. According to the Alzheimer's Society of Canada, an estimated 771,000 Canadians are living with dementia. As Canada's population ages, that number is expected to grow to 1 million by 2030. Dr. Bori says the drug is a first step in dealing with a very complex disease, and it brings hope.
Looking at the people who've been on the lecanemab, it saves about 1 year. So you get about a savings of 1 year over 4 years. Now, some people would say that may not be important, but others may say, if it saves me from going from one phase of cognitive impairment, from mild cognitive impairment to mild dementia, that may be really important for them.
Lecanemab is taken by IV every 2 weeks and comes with serious side effects. The cost of the drug in Canada has not yet been determined. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
It went the equivalent of 2 games. Still ahead on CTV News at 6. The Toronto Blue Jays lose a marathon Game 3 to the LA Dodgers.
Provided by Laura, Melanie Lynn.
Cambrian College has added a new certificate program. The college is now offering a 10-month dental assisting program. According to officials at Cambrian, the new program reflects the demand in the industry across the north. The program will provide students with a practical and hands-on experience, including a 7-week placement. The Salvation Army is partnering with Pudo Inc., a pick-up and drop-off network, to make it easier for people to make donations to thrift stores. The partnership allows people wanting to donate items to the Salvation Army but who may not live close to one. Those wanting to donate can find the free shipping label from the Salvation Army's website and drop off their donation to a Pudo counter. There are around a dozen Pudo counters in the Northeast. Some people in Sault Ste. Marie are really getting into the Halloween spirit. The city announced the residential winners for Halloween decorations on the city's Facebook page. Third place was 161 Lake Street. Second spot went to 1694 Queen Street. And the winner was 129 Murphy Street. The winners were determined by the number of likes on the city's Facebook page. Congratulations to all. And Algoma University in the Soo is putting a different spin on its trick-or-treating experience. Instead of collecting candy, members of the Thunderbird community will be going door-to-door in costume on Halloween from 6 p.m. until 8 to collect non-perishable food items for the university's food pantry. A yearly event that aims to empower women returns to the Soo this weekend. The 4th annual Cities and Oceans Body Positive Fashion Show is on Saturday. CTV's Cor Nordstrom caught up with the group this week.
It's rehearsal time as Connie Corello and her 9 models prepare for this year's annual Body Positive Fashion Show.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
The show is both a charitable fundraiser and a way to empower attendees.
This fashion show serves to remind you that your body is not up for comparison. It's not something to hide. It's yours. It's strong, beautiful, evolving, and worthy of love.
The event, which includes casual wear, formal wear, and swimwear, gets the models outside of their comfort zone. But Corello and the other models are quick to boost one another's confidence.
Every woman kind of struggles with, oh my God, I look like that. And she just kind of lightens the mood and makes you feel confident. And she's like, no, you own it. Like, that's you. That's who you are. You should love yourself. And more women should be like that.
Caitlin Kohler has been with Corello since the first show. Like most of the models, she started off nervous, but she says the event helped her grow confident.
It empowers like every ages, every body type, and like just women in general. It's just nice to see different body types and like different age groups, and it's awesome to see. And each year it gets better and better.
Since its inception, the fashion show has raised more than $6,000 for charities like MS and Arch Hospice. This year, the funds raised will go to an effort closely aligned with the show's brand, a confidence and empowerment conference for youth aged 9 to 15.
For me, it would have been a great workshop to have during that age group. I feel like it definitely helps people develop a better self-image, and with that, you're going to have a better outlook on life.
Tickets for the fashion show are still available online. The Youth Empowerment Workshop takes place next spring. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
There were personal bests and podium finishes at the first swim meet of the season in Sault Ste. Marie. The Sault Surge aquatic team hosted the event that featured teams across the Northeast. The Surge swimmers found themselves in the top 3 in 147 events. Sudbury's Laurentian Swim Club was second with 108 top 3 finishes. Among the highlights from the meet, the Surge's girls 11-12 freestyle relay team won their event, just narrowly missing a club record by less than a second. Before Game 3 of the World Series last night, a Northern hockey team was cheering on the Blue Jays.
And her Lumberjacks would like to wish the Toronto Blue Jays best of luck in the World Series.
But shows the Blue Jays at a World Series.
Go Jays, go!
Despite well wishes from the top-rated team in the NOJHL, the Toronto Blue Jays fell to the LA Dodgers 6-5 in a marathon game that stretched to 18 innings.
High fly to center. Varsho back. Game over.
Freddie Freeman hit a leadoff home run in the bottom of the 18th to give the Dodgers the victory in a 2-1 lead in the Fall Classic. Dodgers slugger Shohei Ohtani had a big night, delivering 2 homers and 2 doubles. And if you're wondering why last night's Jays game went so long, it turns out a country star may have something to do with it. Major League Baseball pointing out on social media this morning that singer Brad Paisley has now performed the national anthem at 4 World Series games, all of which went to extra innings. In fact, Paisley also sang at a Game 3 in 2018. That also went 18 innings.
Entertainment brought to you by the Cinefest Red Carpet Patron Program.
A beloved wedding season hit returns to theaters, and Demi Lovato launches a new tour. Rick Damigella has those stories and more in tonight's Hollywood Report.
Crashing weddings. We are going to have tons and tons of opportunities to meet gorgeous ladies that are so aroused by the thought of marriage that they'll throw their inhibitions to the wind.
Everyone's favorite wedding crashers are back. The Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson comedy returns to the big screen for its 20th anniversary. Fans can relive the laughs as Fathom Entertainment brings Wedding Crashers to theaters on December 4th and 11th.
I am watching, catching teardrops in my hands.
Demi Lovato hits the road. The singer announced her It's Not That Deep North American tour. Lovato will hit 23 cities to support her latest album of the same name. The tour kicks off April 2026 in Charlotte, North Carolina.
People can do terrible things in moments of frustration.
4 expectant moms put their friendships on the line for the sake of their families in Little Disasters. Diane Kruger stars in the limited series, which premieres December 11th on Paramount+. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Amazon has confirmed it's planning to cut 14,000 jobs starting today as it ramps up spending on artificial intelligence. The retail giant says the majority of jobs lost will be in its corporate workforce as it works to slim down after overhiring during the pandemic. This would mark Amazon's largest job cut since late 2022, when it started to eliminate around 27,000 positions. 2 Canadian companies are partnering with the U.S. to build nuclear reactors. BNN Bloomberg's Marella Fernandez has more on that.
Cameco mines uranium, and with Brookfield Asset Management, it will work with Washington to build the large reactors. The U.S. will help arrange $80 billion worth of financing and handle approvals. The AI build-out demands an enormous amount of energy. The U.S., like Canada and others, is looking for ways to feed that demand. Cameco shares spiked more than 25% today on news of the agreement. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 71.75. West Texas Intermediate crude is down more than $1 to 60.15. Western Canadian Select is down slightly to 48.60. And the TSX gained 143 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
And here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold down $51.95, closing the day at $39.41.82 US an ounce. Silver up 3 cents to end the day at $46.99. Copper down 6 cents to $4.88, and nickel down 3 cents, ending the day at $6.81 US a pound. And before we go, Rick is back now for one last look at your Wednesday weather.
More sunshine in the forecast for at least tomorrow, but after that, we'll have to keep a close look on that situation. Sun and cloud in Sudbury at 9, Timmins 10 with the sun, Sault Ste. Marie mainly sunny skies at 11 degrees. How about North Bay for tomorrow? 9. Parry Sound 12 with the sunshine. They had a nice day today with 13. Sun and cloud in Temiskaming Shores with 9 degrees. Don't forget, we'll keep a close eye on the trick-or-treaters and the forecast coming up on Friday. Tony?
Thanks for that, Rick. And finally this hour, a rare bird native to South America and parts of the United States has been seen in the north. It's called a crested caracara. Last week, the raptor was spotted at the dump in the community of Folliette. A member of the Sudbury Ornithological Society tells us how the bird ended up in the Northeast.
It's very possible that some of these birds get caught up in some of the strong storms and winds and are relocated in locations that they're not normally found. The crested caracara is known to wander at times, like individuals have been seen in very unusual and remote areas. They have been seen in Ontario before, but not in any kind of large numbers.
Blom says the bird is part of the falcon family. He adds the bird of prey behaves like a vulture, frequents dumps, feasts on carcasses, and scavenges for food.
It was definitely healthy during the summer, and the last photographs taken certainly indicate that it's healthy. The winter is going to be an interesting test. One of the people we ran into actually said that he saw the bird last year. So if that is in fact what happened, then the bird must have survived at least one winter.
Blom says that if people are hoping to see the crested caracara, they should not trespass while in Folliette. Plus, he says bird watching requires patience. And that's CTV News at 6. I'm Tony Ryma. Thanks for watching. More news comes your way at 11:30 with Ian Campbell. Good night.